Okay, now let's get into the accommodation industry. This one is called Asiago. Asiago is the we call it Taiwanese version Airbnb. So you can understand that this is an accommodation booking platform, and this website is mainly focusing on they call it rental vacations. So it's non-standardized hotels, okay, which is we call it minsu or guest houses in Taiwan. So Asiago starts its business about like 60 years ago. By the time its founder, the right corner one, CK Cheng, he is still the financial analyzer in the finance companies by the time. So he starts from scratch. Even though he knows how to analyze the market, but in the past, his profession is for the technology or for like semiconductor industry in Taiwan. He has no knowledge about travel, okay, but he has this kind of passion for travel, for promoting good accommodation to his friends. So he starts this business from scratch and using a very we call it lean startup way, to kick off. So by the time he has this website, with his co-founder, and there are rental vacations or guest houses to upload their accounts, their property information onto the website by themselves. So he did not have the business development department to do the market discovery thing. So at the same time, he uses word of mouth marketing to let people start, trying to book the rental vacation runs on Asiago. So when the business starts rolling, he does not have the, auto payment on the website. But I think it's hard to imagine that a booking website does not have auto payment. The reason is that CK thought this is not mature timing, to implement those services to its website. It's still in the very beginning and early stage. So he wants to see if the market is mature enough to make this business sustainable. If yes, he will then implement auto payment, implement the marketing team, the BD team, and trying to connect with some other investors. So this lean style concept really make Asia sustainable and being alive, during the COVID-19 because they are so flexible and they are very practical to see the market. So by the time when Asia is going to return those collected money back to the rental vacation owners, they're doing the very traditional way. They have the accountants, the part-time accountants, to hold, their passbook, to hold their bank information, to hold their stamps, to go to the bank, and then dealing with all those transfer money thing in the counter. So this is like super traditional. It's really hard to imagine in this digital era, but they are doing that until three accountants cannot even handle a monthly payment thing. They start noticing that this is a good timing to implement auto payment. Okay, so after that, CK gets round and round and round of investments from its Japanese investors and from like so many different company and partners providing resources, and Asia gets successful until nowadays. So during COVID-19, Asia suffered in the very beginning because it's mainly focusing on Taiwan and Japan market in the past. While now it's locked down, between different markets. He can only do the business for Taiwanese domestic tours. So he changed his business model to provide information of domestic rental vacations. And he surprisingly found that in the past, he needs to go, you know, overseas, to go abroad, to expand the market. Now his philosophy is different. He is going to discover deeply in the domestic market. Well, he found that his rental vacation information could be like even detailed as for those customer who loves to travel with their pets. On his website, he can show that whether you can bring your dogs, your cats, your pets into that guest house, and if you can bring your pets into the guest house, whether your pets can go to the room, and if it can be allowed, to be brought into the room, can it be put on the bed? So all those very detailed information, all those very detailed requests. In the past, customers need to call the guest house to ask if that is okay or not. Okay, but for now, all those detailed information and customer needs could be well explained in the website. So it provided better services for their users. And he just surprisingly found that in the summertime in 2020, still, among COVID-19 and lockdown of the markets, his revenue overtakes the same period revenue of 2019. So he is not only surviving, but also performing better than last year among COVID-19 pandemic. So that's the good news. So let's still, stay tuned with Asiago's later developments. Okay. So talking about accommodation industry, there is another company called Tsubi. So Tsubi is a technology company, and in this group, the founder Tian Liang, Mr. Xi Tianliang, has also another branch company called Bank of Culture. What they are doing is to empower their clients, which is guest houses and small minsu, small rental vacation owner. So during the OTA time, okay, most of the hotels and rental vacations and guest houses are selling their products mainly through OTA, right? And people are also using OTA to book the rooms. However, OTA is too big to really care about the very small and detailed need of their supplier. For example, guest houses, rental vacations with less than 5 rooms. So these players, suppliers are too small to have resources doing online marketing or gaining exposures on OTAs. So Tianliang is using his smart pricing technology to help those small B&B owners to set up a good price, to do the better digital marketing and to gaining their exposures on OTA to be access, to their customers. So it's helping the small ones, but it's using the big ones, which is OTA platform. Okay, so helping small, but taking advantage of big ones' resources is the strategy for Tsubi technology company, and it's doing very well. So among COVID-19 again, because Taiwan domestic market is reviving, so Tianliang is helping those small B&B owners to really take advantage of the domestic market trends and then gain a lot of money. And also, it has its Bank of Culture team to using cultural method to help small B&B to gain their exposures, to build up their reputation, or even do the branding marketing in the social media, because it could be cultural, it could arouse topics and spread a word of mouth among those people who are thinking about booking which guest houses. And also, this is another accommodation company called Taiwan Travel Map. In the very beginning, it's a technology company providing um, a website system, a official, how can I say, booking system for their clients, which are hotels, okay, in Taiwan. So when OTA gets popular and becoming the mainstream for the customers to book their rooms, Taiwan Travel Map loses their business because the hotels will no longer need a booking engine, booking system in their website. They all are selling their products through OTA. So this founder called Sam, he needs to pivot his business model. So from like 4 years ago, he starts to build up this website called ReadyGo. It's a media website. It provides a lot of content. But what kind of content? Okay, you know, people are lazy, too lazy to spend time looking for information. So this ReadyGo platform provides a lot of information package to tell you during, for example, Christmas holidays, during New Year holiday, or during Valentine's holidays, uh, what kind of hotels or motels or design, rental vacations are the best recommended. And you just, click into ReadyGo website. You can see like so many information packages, so many different reports and news. You can easily, find those thematic reports and get the information helping you how to book the ideal hotels. So ReadyGo gets its flow, gets its records, and it's about like 2 million flows every month. So it's kind of strong in Taiwan. So he uses ReadyGo to come back and persuade his old clients, those hotels, saying that if you want to sell your rooms products directly to the customers without being charged commission by OTA, you can work with me. Okay, so same is very smart, saying that you can give me marketing fee, or you can have the commission out of those product selling through ReadyGo, or you can use like all other diverse integrated marketing communication campaigns to work with us. Let's create the values for your brand, for your products. So ReadyGo gets better and better, even replacing Taiwan Travel Map's original website and original Facebook fan page. So this is a successful pivoting story done by Taiwan Travel Map. Okay, so after travel accommodation and hospitality industry, let's get into tourist activities, which is more fun and more exciting. So in Taiwan, the earliest company that's doing tourist activity company is called Nice Day. Okay, so original founders of Nice Day are also the initiator of my organization RTM. They helped me a lot and building up my knowledge and understanding of the industry by the time. So Nice Day is mainly selling some DIY or courses or some like in-room experiences to their customers. And their customers are basically those people very young with a little economical power, consuming power, working in the city, and these young couples, these young customers, when they are off work during the holidays or weekend, they're looking for something fun, but not too far, not too hard, and not too expensive. So they get into website of Nice Day looking for something like how can I make a ring for a couple? How can I make a cup or make some like utensils out of clay? And they can learn how to do the flower decoration. They can learn how to cook, etc. So all these DIY in-room experiences, learning courses, lifestyle, products are the mainstream for Nice Day. Okay, so Nice Day gets quite stable in its business, regardless of KK Day or Klook, those big names with a bunch of capital doing strong marketing in tourism industry. Nice Day has its own standing. So among Nice Day's product line, there is a very interesting, new products in the city. It's kind of like a virtual game, in the room with creative storyline with some missions, tasks to be completed. So a group of friends, a group of colleagues, they can like team up and then get into the room with some deco and designs and try to solve the problems, try to guess the riddles, and then they can pass those gates. Once they pass the gates, they will face the other gates. They will face the other challenges, and then they just keep going, solving all those problems, and in the end they can come out. So this kind of in-room experience are the main products of Nice Day. So let's have a look in this video that's showing a type of mysterious or like horror theme in-room experience.
かごめかごめかごの中の鳥はいついつでやる夜明けの晩にずると亀が滑った
Alright, so after Nice Day, let's talk about KK Day. So KK Day gets very famous, especially in Asia. In the very beginning, KK Day has its own very ideal imagination about their target audience. Since it's a website, it's a platform selling tours, activities, products, and we call it scattered products, scattered experiences. So compare with travel agency products, KK Day sells like one single tours or one single experience instead of the whole package. So it's not selling restaurants, it's not selling air tickets, it's not selling hotels, it's only selling experiences. So for those online users or young backpackers or FIT travelers, they would plan their own tours, right? So when they purchase the tickets through maybe Skyscanner and then buy book the hotels through Agoda or Expedia, and then when they are going to the destination, they will use KK Day to buy the on-site local experiences there. So it's the scattered products means. Okay, KK in the very beginning, they want to provide those products more like cultural, localized, in-depth, and high-price tours or experiences, and that's like conjectured with local cultures. In the beginning, they want to do that, but very soon they found that this is not practical because their online users or their backpackers, FIT travelers are very price sensitive. They are actually relatively young with less consuming power. They are not going to buy too expensive or too like high end or too cultural, too like in-depth products through KK Day. They want something cheap. They want something common. They want something they have heard about. Okay, so KKday pivoted its product line to sell like Wi-Fi, gadgets, to sell airport and hotel transportation, to sell some vouchers, tickets to Disneyland, tickets to some very famous spot, etc. So these components are really reflecting their users' preference, and so it gets its flow. It's growing very fast until now. It's a worldwide, tourist activity platform that's quite accepted by their markets. So after they are doing very well in 2C market, it starts to be business. So it launched its system called Razio. The Razio is actually a PMS, product management system for tours and activities. So we all know that in hospitality accommodation industry, there are so many PMS. In Taiwan, we have Taiwan, we have Oting, we have some other companies providing hotel managers a system, okay, called hotel PMS to manage their rooms. To avoid the mistakes or overbooking. But In tourist activities industry, this PMS is never existing before because this industry is too offline, too traditional. Those people who are leading the tours or who are the coaches, for the kayaking, for the canoeing, they don't know how to use technology to build up their products. They don't even know how to, upload their products onto KKday or, this kind of like new commercial platform. So ratio is something very simple as a tool to be sold to those local players or communities um, to use this system to build up their own website. Okay, so their website could be very beautiful, very nice looking, as good as KKday, and then it's connected with online payment so that all those very local traditional players they would have their own information castle online for the customers and the consumers to look into their website for information or even purchasing the products there online. So it's kind of like a digitization of tourist activities industry. So I really appreciate what Ratio is trying to do. Let's take a look at its system interface. Okay, so this is what KKday has been doing for about like 5 years, and unfortunately, this year COVID-19 pandemic happened, and it really affects those cross-border travel platform like KKday very hard. Okay, it hits hard. So for now, KKday cannot do those cross-border businesses, and so it needs to come back and refocusing on the domestic market, right? So now for KKday, it's not only selling its components like Wi-Fi or transportation from the airport to hotels or those vouchers and tickets anymore. It cannot only focus and relying on that, it needs to develop new product line. So among COVID-19, KKday is doing a lot of like new business model. For example, it builds up a new website selling souvenirs, selling some special local cultural packages to people, gift packages, or some like artworks, or like even food ingredients. Okay, so it's running a different business model, not only for experience, but also for products, but also for something that normal people would purchase every day. And also I heard from their chief marketing officer saying that they are also developing some long distance online experience. For example, they work with some like house renting companies to let their clients, for example in Taipei, to watch online the house in southern Taiwan, and so they don't need to spend that time and buy the transportation tickets to go all the way to southern Taiwan in order to check that house or check that property. They can watch online and let the other sales of that house renting company to use camera on the other side to really film and immediately like showcase how that property looks like. So this is an online service and really solving the time killing pain points for their clients. So KKday is now doing kind of like this. It's selling houses, or precisely, it's selling house checking online service. So this is something that KKday and most of cross-border platform is now doing, trying to renovating themselves to fulfill the customers' needs and try to make money and stay alive. Okay, let's take a break.